welcome to our 1113 video. This is Senna, Alicia, Melvin and Steph. We have decided to do organ donation and the opt-in or opt-out model. So Australia currently have the opt-out, opt-in model. We're arguing that a better strategy would be to have the opt-out so that everyone, let's say at 18, is registered for organ donation, and anyone with any wishes, religious or personal beliefs that doesn't want to have their organs donated should choose to opt out. So we're going to present that in a roundtable discussion. So we're going to do a play on a Q&A session. Our ethical theory is consequentialist. So we believe that it's not the act as such, it's the consequence of what happens afterwards. And so we believe that the benefit of the lives that could be saved is going to be far better than any potential damage, I suppose, for people's choices perhaps being impinged on. So the principles that we're looking at are non-maleficence and beneficence, along with autonomy. So hopefully in the remainder of the video we will touch on all of those. Thank you. We'll just set up now. Okay. I'm the host.
I just got to stick out.
Okay. Welcome to Q&A. Tonight's program will cover organ donation within Australia, with particular focus on new calls for Australia's organ donation process to be changed to an opt-out model, a significant flip from our current opt-in arrangement. The proposed changes will see all Australians registered as organ donors. Anyone unwilling to donate organs has the opportunity to opt out, no questions asked. The current model requires citizens to opt in to organ donation. Tonight we will be joined by those for and against the proposed changes, and our format will see an open, self-managed discussion occur. We will refrain from taking questions tonight and focus only on those parties participating in our round table discussion. We will focus on the ethical principles and values associated with a decision like this, what impact the changes may have in certain areas of the community, and we'll hopefully hear a wide-ranging set of opinions from our guests. We will have 2 pro opt-in supporters and 2 supporters of the opt-out model on tonight's discussion. We welcome Steph and Melvin to the table, who believe Australia's organ donation laws should remain the same. On the other side of the argument, we have Senna and Alicia, who believe the laws should be changed to an opt-out system. Please welcome them to the program. Okay, let's let the discussion begin. We might get those parties who support the laws remaining the same to begin the discussion with their reasonings why. Thank you all. Over to you. Hello.
I would like to say thank you for having me, but I think it's absolutely ridiculous that we're even here to have this discussion this evening, because honestly, they're my organs. Nobody is going to touch them. Healthcare is going to suffer as a result of this, because people are just going to waltz in, not diagnose me with what's wrong with me, and then hope that I die so they can harvest my organs and send them to everybody, and it's just absolutely ridiculous. What is to stop them taking my penis and putting it on someone else because they want a bigger penis? Honestly, I just think it's absolutely ridiculous that they would. I can't even. I have nothing more to say.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a very strong view, Steph, and I can see that you're very passionate about it. Look, I believe that organ donation should be an opt-out measure. So basically what I would propose is that Australia have a system where anyone sort of over the age of 18, let's say, is automatically registered as a donor. There would obviously have to be legal frameworks around that and paperwork sent out and all of those types of things. And then you can choose to opt out or choose to opt out if you don't want to be a donor. And I think that would save all those people with religious or personal beliefs like Steph or fears, however irrational I may feel that they are, from being or having their choices compromised. So I think for me, autonomy is a sort of driving factor in this. A lot of people don't want decisions taken out of their hands. My argument for this is that it's not really being taken, out of your hands. You are still making the choice. You're choosing whether or not you want to be an organ donor. It's just that the way the system would be changed would be allowing more people to benefit from organ donation. So there's quite a lot of studies and quite a lot of, polling that's been done to suggest that the majority of people in Australia are happy to donate their organs, but they just don't get around to going to the Vic Roads or, putting it on their licence and saying that they're happy to donate, and they don't have the discussion with their families. So when something unfortunately does happen to them, those choices, aren't made because perhaps in the heat of the moment or when, an emergency happens or whatever it may be, the families are quite distraught. So the person's decisions aren't sort of followed up. So for me, we want to see, more good done. I think that's part of the beneficence principle. I hate that word. Is that we want to do better or do good for those around us, and I think this model would see better outcomes for the whole community.
I think in terms of religious views or belief, there are three main religions that disagree with this organ donation.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first thing, the biggest one is Shinto, which is the biggest religion in Japan. Okay. They bound up with the idea that of purity, that people in this world is unpure because of their sin, of their things that people do to each other. So like people who receive the donor also doesn't want to receive the organ because they think that that organ is unclean, and they don't want to receive that. And the second one is Judaism. They believe that organ donation will interfere with the body after death, which is the reincarnation that they believe.
Mm-hmm.
It will affect or it will harm their afterlife. And also the third one is Buddhism. They believe that people that have died still have consciousness, that they may still stay in the body, and that organ donation, which is taking out the organ, is the act of killing them. Okay. In a way.
Yeah. Look, I can totally understand your point, Melvin, and I think so. For me, I think this is where the principle of non-maleficence comes into play. So we're not wanting to do harm to anyone, and I think this actually protects those people as well. Those that are against it still have the option of choosing to not participate. No one's saying that you have to donate your organ. If you don't want to, for whatever reason, you can choose to do that. That's your decision will still be respected. I think the medical community would be well and truly, across this. They know that when it comes down to it, your family, next of kin still has a vital role to play in the choice that you are making. No one can come in and take your organs without consent. No one can come in and harvest your penis and send it off to someone. No one can do that without either your written consent or your family's. So I think, the changes really are just going to benefit the people that don't care. The people that do care will make the changes. That's my opinion. So I think Senna has, a great account of this, which I think is, something that we all need to listen to.
Thank you. Well, I'm pro the opt-out model because I have a bad heart, I had a bad heart, and without organ donation and opting out, I wouldn't be here today. I would have, if somebody didn't have the autonomy to opt out, like
to choose to give
me their heart. That's what I meant to say. Oh, you don't have a bad heart, girl.
But anyway, why is it disgusting? She wouldn't be here.
Because someone else's organ in her chest right
But
now.
she has a family and she has a life now that she wouldn't have had without that.
But it's not pure though. Like
it belongs to someone else.
But that's her choice. But that's her choice. She's chosen to accept the heart. Someone has chosen to give it to her. That's autonomy in play. You guys. Oh, but if you're choosing not to have it, totally fine. I just think that you guys are being very judgmental.
But that's not the way nature intended it. The person that died, died.
Okay.
You had a bad heart, no offense, but maybe that was the way that nature intended you to go instead of getting that heart.
Maybe your penis should be taken off.
Look, I don't know if you guys are seeing the point. Like, the point is what we're discussing is people's right to choose, and we're not asking that anyone has their rights taken away from them. You guys are calling Senna names because she's decided to prolong her life through the receival of a, donor heart. If you don't want that, that is completely fine. We can work around different models so that people that don't want to donate and don't want to receive don't participate in the scheme. But those that do need hearts and are willing to take them and are willing to donate to others, they should have the choice to do so.
But the opt-in and opt-out, yes, it gives you a choice, but it does not maintain the standard of quality healthcare that I expect from this country.
Can you show me a case where that's true?
Oh, I sent you many emails about it. Did no one read them? Did no one read them?
No,
because I'm sorry, I've heard so many cases of people that have gone to the doctors and they've been completely misdiagnosed and they've ended up passing away, very unfortunately. And, maybe the doctors just wanted to harvest their organs rather than actually prevent the disease from killing them. I think it's horrible.
And look, I think that's probably a very doomsday sort of approach from yourself. I think we have to have some faith in our medical,
Just want my money and my organs.
Okay.
It's all about money.
There's no
money.
No one. The only benefit is life, I suppose, or being able to see for someone that gets a cornea, or the fact that people are willing to donate organs for free here. There is no benefit for them. They've passed away. I just think that our Australian medical community are quite, in my view, we're an ethical society. I don't believe it's money driven. So do you think from our discussions that obviously you're not willing at all to change your minds? You still think that, we're taking the choice away from you, even though we're asking you simply to register a choice?
Well, I think for me, it's like the difference between opting in and opting out is opting in, we volunteer ourselves to donate. So people can see, this guy's doing a good deed. Okay. But then opting out is like, it is confidential, but then people will later see that, okay, this guy is not wanting to volunteer, not wanting to donate, which is a bad view towards the other people.
But what about religious views? He has religious views maybe, and that's why nobody's going to judge you.
No, I don't think there would be judgment. I think, let's say the religious argument, if you're not willing to accept an organ because that's against your cultural beliefs and, you think it may affect your afterlife or whatever it may be, and you're also in that case not willing to give an organ, I can't see the harm there. You're not taking anything that you're not willing to receive.
Well, as long as, people are not judgmental.
And as long as your wishes are respected.
That's what I'm concerned about.
Yeah. And look, I understand that. And I think that this model gives you the opportunity to have your wishes respected. It's just, all it's asking is for a little bit of participation from the community. And I don't think, we have to go and vote when we're 18. We have to go and do all of these things. Like what's one more bit of paperwork? For the lives that could be saved. There's 10-year-old kids out there that don't get to see, 12 and 13, they don't get to go to high school because, their hearts are playing up or whatever, and someone could change that and give a person, a child, a life, or a mum or a dad, or, I just think the benefit for the community in the way that we could set things up so that organs don't go to waste just is far, wider reaching than the negatives.
Yeah. It's good that, you guys are bringing this up because, I changed my mind about this.
I thought you would say that I have a piece of that person in my body, and their family still get to see some piece of their family.
And that's beautiful. That's and I think that's a beautiful sentiment. Okay, thank you very much. I think that is pretty much it from us. Bye. Bye.